Hello student, myself Rajeshri Patil, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science. Today I am going to explain regarding inner class and string class. So these are the certain concepts I will cover in these two topics like introduction regarding inner class, syntax of inner class, advantages of inner class, and there are different types of inner classes and certain programs, example programs on inner classes. Next, definition of string class, how to create a string, different string methods, and certain examples on string methods. So now we will study what this inner class means. Inner class are defined inside the body of the another class. So there is a one class will be there like outer class. Inside that class we are creating a one more class, and that class is called as inner class. Java inner class or nested class is a class which is declared inside the class or interface. So inner class we can define inside the class or inside the interface is also be allowed. These classes can have access modifier, even can marked as an abstract and final. Inner class may have an access modifier like a public, protected and private. Even it can also has abstract and final keywords preceded with the inner class. Inner class can have a special relationship with the outer class instances. This relationship allows them to have access to the outer class members, including private members too. So this inner class have somewhat special relationship with the outer class, like it can access all the members of outer class, even it can access private member also. We use inner class to logically group the classes and interfaces in one place so that it can be more readable and maintainable. So why actually we are using this inner class is to group a logically related classes or interfaces in one place, means related classes. Suppose think that we can take a class related to our college. Suppose college is the outer class, and again in that class we have like there is a principal class is there, and then teaching class will be there, and then non-teaching class will be there, and the student class will be there. So logically related classes, all these classes we can place like principal is the super class. In that one we have a certain teaching staff and non-teaching staff, and in the teaching staff we have a student class. Like that we can place a logically related classes together. We can use a class or we can use a interfaces to place inside the outer class, so that it becomes a more readable as well as maintainable, means easily it becomes we can read easily, and anywhere something we want to make any changes we can make easily, so that we can say it as easily maintainable one. This is a syntax for inner class, like class Java outer class name we are providing, and then this outer class can has its own data and the members. And once again we are defining inside of that outer class there is an inner class will be there, like class keyword followed by a inner class name, and then it has its own data member and methods, its own methods we can have it inside the inner class. So certain advantages of using this inner class are: inner classes represent special type of relationships, that is it can access all the members of the outer class, including private also. Now itself in the introduction part I think I'd explain. So there is a special relationship with this inner class with the outer class, so that it can access all the data member and methods of outer class, as well as it can access private member, not only public members. It can also access the private member of a outer class. So nested class are used to develop more readable and maintainable code, because it is logically grouped classes and interfaces in one place only. So it is most probably it is helpful to become reading as well as for maintainable. So now itself I told that it becomes more readable, so that logically related classes we can place one outer class, then inner class, then inner class, like this we can place, and it becomes more readable also, as well as anywhere any changes or any corrections you want to make, it becomes very easy for us. So for maintenance also it becomes very easy. A code optimization is possible because the inner class can access the outer class data members as well as method. So definitely it will reduce the size of a code, we can say. And the fourth one, inner class are used especially for security mechanism in Java. We know a class cannot be associated with the access modifier private. So you know that if any class we make it as a private one, we cannot access outside. So but if you make a class as a member of other class, then inner class can be made as a private. So if you make an inner class as a private, then this is also used to access the private member of a class. So this class can access the private member of a outer class as possible. So especially to make inner class as private, if you make that as private, it becomes secure to the outside world so that nobody can access the features of a inner class. This class can access the features of outside class, outer class, means it can access the data member as well as method of outer class. Even private member can also be accessed, but it is secure from the outside world. So main purpose of using this inner class is to provide the security. So there are different types of inner classes we have to have. There are basically we have two types of inner class. One is non-static, another one is a static inner class. Non-static inner class further bifurcated into three types. One is member inner class, next one is anonymous inner class, and the third one is local inner class. So member inner class, a class is created within the class and outside the method. So there is a outer class will be there. Within that class we are defining the class, but it should be outside the method of the outer class. Second one is anonymous inner class. A class is created for implementing the interface or extending the interface. So this we can use, anonymous class can be used with the extending keyword or by interface, implementing the interface, and it doesn't having any name to the class. Such class is called anonymous inner class. Local inner class, a class is created within the method. So the class we are creating inside the method of a outer class, such class is called as local inner class. So already we have studied static inner class, in the sense a class will be prefixed with the keyword static, then such class is called as static inner class, but that we are defining inside the outer class. First we study about the static inner class. In that one, the first one is Java member inner class. For this we see the particular example so that we can understand clearly. Here test member outer, left side of your screen, there is a class is there, test member outer, and there is a one private variable is there, data equal to 30. So you know that the class which we define inside the class but outside the method. Here we are not at all using any method, so we are writing inside the outer class. There is an inner class is there, like class inner. In that one we are defining the void message. There is a function message is there, and in that when we have output statement like data is, it is going to print the value of data. Then we are closing the outer class. Then we are defining the main method, and we are creating an object to the class test member outer, like OBC we are creating. So we cannot directly access the member of an inner class. For that we have to pass inner class to the outer class, because we want to access the member of an inner class, that is message you want to access, no? So test member outer dot inner, because this inner class is the inner of the object of the outer class. So that's why this inner dot test outer we have to write. Then we have to create an object like in. Then we have to use the object of outer class to create a object for the this outer class. Then this outer class object dot new, then inner, then we can access the this we can create a object to this outer class, like we are creating in as a object dot, then we can access the method of this inner class. Then you'll get the output as data is 30. So this is about Java member inner class. Next we are going to study about a second method of static inner class, that is a Java anonymous inner class. This we can implement by two way. One is by using class. In the class may be abstract, or it may be an concrete. Concrete in the sense it can have a normal method. This inner class declared without the class name is known as an anonymous inner class. The inner class which we declared without the class name. So this anonymous class doesn't having any name. That method, such phenomena is known as anonymous inner class, that we can create it by two ways. One is by class, another one is by interface. So we can see one example on each so that we can understand clearly. First we study about the Java anonymous inner class using class. So here there is a class is there, but this class we are using of type abstract, and this abstract class contain a abstract method like eat method will be there. And then we are creating a one more class. In that class we are defining the main method, and here we are creating object to the abstract class person, and here directly we are creating implementing the class abstract method we are implementing. But here we are not at all providing any class name here, just this person p new person followed by there is opening brace is there, but here we are not at all using any a class name here. Directly we are implementing the abstract method, and in that one we are providing the output statement, that is eating fruit, something we are providing the output statement. Then we are closing this method, then we are closing this what is it called as this opening brace, and then we are calling the method, we are calling the method of this anonymous like p dot eat. At that time it will going to call this eat method of this anonymous class, like it will print an output as eating fruits. See here, that's after person p new person, just we are opening the brace, it doesn't having any class name. So this type of defining the inner class is called as anonymous inner class. This we are implementing by using the class. Now we can see how can we implement interface by using this anonymous inner class. So here we are defining one interface. An interface name is eatable void eat. So this again we are defining one more class like test anonymous, and in this one we are defining the main method. Same thing, we are creating an object to the interface like e new eatable public void eat system.out.println. We are printing nice fruits, and then we are closing the eat, and we are closing the that whatever the object we are creating for the interface, no, that we are closing here. And then using that object we are calling the eat method of this anonymous class. So here we are implementing the interface at the right side of your screen, public void eat, and inside we are providing the print statement. Here also we won't have any class name here. Directly we are implementing the that interface inside this one, but we are not at all using any class name. So once again this is called as anonymous inner class, anonymous inner class, and directly we are getting the output as nice fruits. So third one is Java local inner class. Java local inner class. Already in the definition itself, I think I had explained the method local inner class can be instantiated only within the method where it is defined. So where you are defining the class, no, there itself you are creating the object to that class, and there only you are calling the method of that inner class. Are you getting my point? It cannot access the local variables of enclosing methods unless they are final. So it cannot access the local variable of enclosing methods. It cannot access any local variables of method unless they are final. Only it can access the final variables. See here we are creating one local inner class, and here we are displaying a class, there is a local inner, and inside a method. I told you that inner class we are defining inside the method we are creating here. While display is the method. Inside that we are creating a class called local. In the local we are creating a method message, and inside that we are providing the output statement as we are printing the value of data. So in the above only we had explained that the method local inner class can be instantiated only within the method where it is defined. Within the method only we have to create object to the local class, like local L is equal to new local. Using this object only we are calling the method of the local class, like L dot message you are calling. Is it clear? Then we are closing the method of the outer class. Then we are calling the main method, and then we are creating an object to the outer class like obj. Whenever you are calling obj dot display, at that time it going to call the method of this message and data, because you are calling L dot message, no. So because it is a method, it is the body of your display method, so that's why it will process everything. Then anyhow L dot message, in the sense automatically it will call the method of this local class. Whenever you are calling obj display means definitely it will call the method of this inner class, and it will display as data value is 30 we had provided, no, so it will print data is 30. So the second type of inner class is static nested class. Static class that is created inside the class is called static nested class. The class which is created inside the class, and it should be prefixed with the keyword static, and that class is called as static nested class in Java. It cannot access non-static data members and methods. You know that static class can access static members and static methods only. It cannot access non-static data members and methods. It can be accessed by the outer class name. We cannot access directly. We can access via outer class only, outer class name only. Okay, it can access static data members of the outer class including private also. It can also access the static data member as well as private data member can also be accessible. See here, in the right side of your screen there is a class test outer will be there. Inside we are defining the static data member like int data is equal to 30. Static class inner, uh, this is the class name. I told you that whenever you want to say any class as a static class, it should be prefixed with the keyword static. So that's why class inner will be prefixed with the keyword static, and it consists of a message or a method void message, and in that one we are providing the body as output statement as data is data value we are printing. Then we are closing the method, and then we are closing the inner class. Next we are calling the main method here. Main method we are calling here, and then you know that it can, second point of the static nested class, we told that it can be access the data member of outer class including pointer. This can be accessed by only outer class name. So just now only I told you that when you want to access, this one outside the class, we have to use the outer class name only we can access. Like test outer one is the outer class name dot, because it is a member of a inner class, no, dot we are using the inner to create an object to the outer class, right? Test outer is the outer class dot inner is the inner class name followed by an object is equal to new test outer one dot inner. If we write in this way only we can create object to the outer class, then we can access the member of the inner class via using this object like obj.msg, like message function you can access like this. If we'll run this program, we'll get the output as data is 30. So now let us study about what is the string class means. String is nothing but, you know, that sequence of character or a collection of character is called as string class. In Java, object of strings are immutable, which means constants and cannot going to be changed once created. So once the string has been created, it may not going to be changed or it may not going to be manipulated. It becomes a constant, immutable, cannot be going to be changed. Okay, and this can be create by using the help of class java.lang.string class. So we can create an object to the string class by using this java.lang.string class. This you have to be import in your class, then only you can create object to the string class. So how can we create a string? There are two ways we can create a string. One is by string literal, another one is by using new keyword. Literal in the sense a constant. You know that always a constant we are writing if it is a string is there, no? Single character is there, we are writing inside the single quotation, but it is string is there, no? We have to enclose always inside the double quotation. So string literal, string followed by s, where in the string s should be capital there, is equal to you are providing the literal. It is a constant, no? So that's why you have to provide inside the double quotation and end with a semicolon. Second one is by using a new keyword also we can create a string, like string followed by string object is equal to new string followed by a string name you have to provide inside the double quotation, then close the bracket and then end with a semicolon. These are the two ways we can create a string. String methods. So this string class will be supported. There are certain built-in methods we have to have, like compare, concat, equals, split, length, replace, compared to substring. There are many more methods will be supported by your string class, like int length we are using to find the length of the string. So here there is a particular example will be there, like suppose you want to find the length of any string, that string dot you have to write the followed by a length function, then automatically it will write the returns the number of character present in that particular string. See here there is a welcome is there, so it will return as 7 characters because it consists of 7 character, no? So this length function will return 7 characters. Char at int I, it returns a character at the ith index. So here char at function is to know the position of that particular character in the string. That particular character index it will be displayed. See here welcome dot char at 3. So 3 it is returning 3. Why? Because a w having the index at 0 and e is having the index at 1, l having the index of 2 and c is having the index of 3. So array always starts from 0. So that's why C is at the position 3. So that's why it returns C. String, substring function, it will return the substring from the ith index character to the end. So whatever the position you are providing, no, which substring from which onwards you want to display, you have to provide the index of that string. From that index to till the end of the string it will going to be display. So here in the welcome substring 3 in the sense, already I told that 3 in the sense it starts from a fourth character, that is C, till the end of the character means come. See, it will print come completely because the end of the character is E. Next one is the fourth, string substring int I int j. This is also same thing as that one, but there it will print up to end of the character. It is not like that. It is exactly up to from and to we are providing here. Int I is nothing but a starting point of the character, index of the character, and int j tells the end character, end index of the string we can say, and j always takes less than 1 minus that of the whatever the number or index we are providing. Suppose just see one example here, welcome dot substring you will write 2 comma 5. 2 in the sense once again l having index 2 and 5 is having index m, but according to the rules 5 minus 1 j minus 1 it will take, so it will print only lco. I think you got it. The j value will take 1 less than that of the index value always. Okay. String concat. Concatenate specified the string to the end of the this string. Another whatever the string you are providing, the end of that it will going to be append or it will going to be added to the string. So suppose string 1 is well and string 2 is come. When you concatenate those two, it will give an output like welcome. We can use like s1 dot concat s2 we can use in the program. String replace, the old value will going to be replaced by a new. So wherever the old value occurrence, that will be replaced by the new value in the program. So here well is the old value and come is the new. Wherever well comes, it will be going to be replaced by come, and you will get the output as come. So these are the certain examples we can see. Already I had explained about this length. So this Sachin having a totally 6 characters, it going to print 6. Here replace string, just I want to focus here especially. So wherever oops comes, oops is a programming language, oops is a platform, oops is Iceland, something string I had used here. On that one we are performing a replace operation. So wherever oops, this is the old one, old string, and this is the new one. So wherever oops comes, this has to be replaced by Java. Oops, like oops replace means it will give Java is programming language, Java is platform, Java is an Iceland, like this it will going to be display when you are running this program. So char at method return the character at the specified index. Suppose we will here searching is the string, char at 0 in the sense I told you that 0 start is nothing but a first character in the string. 3 in the sense the fourth character in the string. So h for 3 and 0 for yes, it will going to be print. So these are the books I had referred for this to prepare a PPT. Thank you.